Hi, I'm Debbie from Simply Special Craft, and this is my friend Laura. Today we're going to talk about the Winter Wonderland kit by Hunkydory. The Winter Wonderland card kit by Hunkydory is really a fabulous kit. I think you'll enjoy it a lot. We sure did. It starts with an inspiration sheet, gives you a few card samples on the front, not detailed instructions, just samples of what you can do. And on the back we have a few more samples just to give you some ideas about what you can do with the toppers. One of the things you should expect from these topper sets is that they don't include specific instructions for use. The reason for that is that there's a multitude of different ways that you can use them, and that's really the purpose of our video, is to give you some examples and ideas on how you can use that set, because some people are a little overwhelmed when they open it up and there's no instructions. So we're going to try and help you with that. Let's start by talking about some of the supplies we used in making this set of cards. In addition to the materials actually in the kit, we used a few extra things to kind of brighten our cards up and just have more fun with it, candidly. We could have only used the materials in the kit, but just for fun we added some things. And I thought I'd share with you what some of those add-ons were. We used mirror board, we used metallic papers, we used glittery papers, we used a variety of stickers. We used some Season's Greetings, some Merry Christmas, some dimensional snowflakes, little tiny Merry Christmas stickers, some straight line stickers. As you can probably getting the idea, you can pretty much use anything you have in your craft cupboard and just get creative and have some fun with it. We used a lot of dimensional foam tape, and I'll show you how we used this. We extensively used these snowflakes from the Flying Reindeer set from Paper Artist. We loved using these lacy borders. They're so pretty when they're done in the foil board or mirror board, and used in conjunction with those pretty foiled papers from Hunkydory. Kind of one of our trademarks in our Winter Wonderland kit is we use this little tree from Dee's Distinctive Dies. We cut it in white and then glittered them, and we put them, dropped it on the floor. We used them on almost everything. We also really liked the standing reindeer from Dee's Distinctive because, again, winter themed cards, the deer just fit in really nicely. As always, I have to use some bling. I used the mini die set from Tattered Lace. Now you know that these are different dies in every set, but every set has things that can be used in this card set. We used specialty sized cards. We used A2s, A6s, A7s. We used gatefold cards. We used shutter cards. I'll show you. So I used lots of different kinds of cards. We used glue. We used lots of glitter. Glitter is Laura's trademark. We used liquid pearls. So you're getting the idea. We used lots of fun supplies with our Hunkydory kit. We'll take a look at each set of toppers and the associated papers, and we'll look at card samples for each set just to give you an idea of where we're going with this. I am going to give an example of how to cover a card, but we'll do that right at the end of the video for those who already know how to do that. So here we have the snowman topper set, Frosty and Friends. You can see you actually get 4 toppers plus some greetings on that sheet. You get this wonderful snowman and the 2 bunnies. And you get a pretty sheet of purple snowflakes with black foiled snowflakes. This is what we did with them. Here's my first card. I covered my card in purple foil, added my topper to the center, and used some of that border strip. I used some transparent silver glittered stickers on the sides. We cut one of those snowflakes from the Paper Artist kit and put a rhinestone in the middle. If you're wondering about this card blank, this actually was a specialty card that I got from Hunkydory. I believe I have a pattern for this, and we'll try and put a pattern for this card out there so that you can copy that pattern if you want to. Here's the next one. Now for this one, you'll notice that I just took the corner of that piece of cardstock, I cut it out, and this is actually not one of the toppers, it's just one of the printed cardstocks, but I cut the corner out of it, and I made my card face using that corner. A little glitter, a dimensional snowflake with a rhinestone, a nice season's greetings. This season's greeting is from hot off the press, and I put dimensional tape behind my Let It Snow sticker, and didn't that just turn out so cute? Next, you can see I was really into purple with this set. I covered my card in purple foil. Now, in this topper sheet, it actually had a frame that was in two pieces. So I took the frame apart, I raised this piece on dimensional tape, and then I didn't raise the center piece, I just taped it inside. So you can see that you get this really neat dimension by doing that, and it's as simple as breaking it in two pieces and putting foam tape on one of them. Little border right off the sheet of toppers, that little D's distinctive tree cut out on our die cutting machine. In this case we just cut it out on light pink glittered paper and made a little snowflake out of that hot off the press die with the from the reindeer set. And didn't that turn out cute? Here's a little gatefold card made on a 4x4 gatefold. I like to do something unexpected with the gatefold cards. As you know, with a gatefold card you attach your image to the left-hand side and then it opens at the center. I always like to try and put something on the right-hand side that's just kind of a little hidden treasure. In this case, it's this little border piece that is largely tucked under the topper. Again, a little snowflake, tiny little Merry Christmas. In this case, I already had so much going on, I just used a little white tree here. But didn't that turn out cute? Here's Frosty, and I did not do a lot to this card. Again, we had one of those frames that's already broken into a couple of pieces. In this case, we have the topper, the first frame, the second frame. In this case, I used dimensional tape under my outside frame. I did not use dimensional tape on the inside piece. I just set that inside with just a regular piece of tape on the back. And I put dimensional tape on the center piece. Then I just attached my Winter Wishes greeting and a little bow, and I didn't think I needed to do anything else to it because I thought it was really cute just that way. Finally, this card, I used a piece of rainbow mirror board. We sell out of rainbow mirror board every time we get it because it's beautiful and it's awesome. If we don't have rainbow mirror board, you also get a very striking effect just from using any of our silver mirror board to cover your card. So we used silver. I used a piece of purple foiled paper. I took the frame, broke it into a few pieces. Again, this was a 3-piece frame. It already comes cut that way. It's die cut that way. I took the first one and I actually glued it right to my card. The second inside frame I raised with one piece of foam tape. I wanted to build it up even further, so I used 2 pieces of foam tape under my snowman, so you can see that it's actually stepped up. I added my bow, I added my snowflake and a rhinestone, and it was actually very simple to construct, but it's very effective. So that's our first set. Next we have the Angel's Kiss, and you have 3 nice generous sized toppers in this, plus some nice little ones. So let's take a look at what we did with those. Here's the printed cardstock. This is printed on 350 GSM cards, so this is really nice, sturdy cardstock. The foiled cardstock, very versatile in terms of what you can do with that. Let's take a look at some cards here. Here's the first one, and in this one, I just took this piece right out of the printed cardstock. I covered a little A2 card. I added one of those cute little D's, small snow-covered trees. Added some glitter accents, and that's all I did to it because I thought it was adorable. The next A2 card that I did was made using another piece out of that cardstock. I took an A2 card, I covered it in silver mirror board. I added foam tape behind my little arched angel that's blowing snow into the scene. Added my Merry Christmas to You, which is also on foam squares, and then added a few little glitter accents, and that's all I did to it because, again, I don't think it needed any more than that to be really beautiful. This one, I simply took this topper, I added some glitter accents, I put some foam tape behind it, I butted the frame right up against the edge of I believe it's a 2, yeah, I think this is an A2 card. We butted it right up against the edge of the A2 card, and then I cut it out right around the remaining edges, leaving it attached at the back, and you get this just charming little archway card. Isn't that pretty? A few little glittered accents and a tiny Merry Christmas down there, and I love that card. I think it's so fun the way it turned out. Very similar treatment for this. I had to use a slightly larger card because it's a larger image. This one, I used an A6 card. Again, I attached my frame. I cut around my frame, making sure that it don't cut on the seamed edge. I added foam tape to the back of this piece. I added foam tape to the back of my Sealed with a Kiss, a few glitter accents, and what a simple card to make, but it's so, so pretty. That's our angels. Here's the Winter Wonderland on Christmas Eve set. It's got kind of a charming, I don't know, almost alpine type village scene. Pretty little houses and snowmen. One of the things I like about this is the unusual cut of some of these images. This kind of makes them fun and challenging to work with. You have two nice border pieces here. You'll notice on the borders they're not clipped or they're not die cut at the end. That's just to hold them in the sheet. You have to clip those with your scissors. When you do, don't forget to hang on to some of these pieces because you can sometimes do some fun things with those edges. Here's our large scene, and an absolutely wonderful piece of snowflake paper on kind of an aqua blue-green background. So pretty. Let's see what we did with it. People tell me that they're confused about what to do with these large prints. Let's take a look at how I did this. I just took this piece from right there. It had all the components I wanted. I wanted Santa and the sleigh to be featured in my card, so I used the Santa that was already printed, and just for fun, I used this little punch out of the reindeer, and I added some glitter and foam tape to it, and stuck it up above the house so that it actually becomes an add-on. This little tree, again, is that D's small snow-covered tree, and you can see how well it just fits into everything. To do this, all I did was cut down this cardstock to get to the piece that I wanted. I taped my card on the back, I cut around my card, just after it's taped down, I would do it just like this, cut around my card, and voila, that scene comes here. You'll notice that we added some glitter accents. I think that added a lot to these snow scenes. That was beautiful. Little star form Merry Christmas there in the corner. And isn't that just a fun image? Here's another one that turned out really cute. Again, in this card, I used this poster piece. And what we did was we cut this border strip off, since we knew we weren't going to use that in these cards since there was so much seen at the bottom. We cut that off so we would have the border strip to use on other cards. And then this piece comes right out of here. Let's see where we took it from there. Excuse me, we covered our card directly with that piece and then added our little snow-covered tree. Lots of glitter, because all that snow wants lots of glitter. Added that little Merry Christmas to you. This was actually off of one of the other topper sheets. I just liked it on here. And have a little snowflake peeking out from under there with a little pearl accent in the center. And one of the glitter strips off the topper sheet. Didn't that turn out just wonderfully? I really like that one. Of course, that's one commonality you'll hear throughout. I like this kit. It was fun, and I liked a lot of them. For this one, we actually used one of the foil sheets off of one of the other 3-piece sets in this kit. I like the way they look together. This one is one of those odd-shaped pieces, but it was fun to work with. We put foam tape behind it. We put foam tape behind this piece. We actually even layered our snowflakes. Both these snowflakes are from that hot off the press reindeer set, and we foam taped between them, put a rhinestone in the center, and there's that little CD's, or excuse me, not CD's, but D's small snow-covered Christmas tree. Again, didn't that turn out cute? Now, there's a little trick right here that I showed to Laura when we were working here. Wanted just a little accent across the top and didn't have a border strip I thought was just right. So I took a piece of tape and ran double stick tape and ran along there, put my glitter right over the top of that tape just to get that glitter line at the top. And I like that. It really kind of picked up the lights and darks of that, and I thought it looked pretty to complement the foil board that we used. But I thought that was fun. Of course, again, we kind of went glitter crazy, and I have lots of glitter accenting the image itself to just kind of reflect all of that snow. But it was great fun. I like this card a lot. This is one of the, I believe it's called a shutter card. The card is made by hot off the press. It comes as a blank pre-folded card, and you cut the pieces. And this was a good way. I wanted to use this one to illustrate how we could use some of those small topper pieces. A couple of those little trees out of that D's distinctive die. Instead of cutting them down, I just used less sections to build these smaller trees. And 3 of those little toppers, a little dimensional snowflake, and we were good to go. A little border strip off of our border strip sheet. Didn't that turn out to be a fun card? This winter Woodland topper set was, I thought, really, really striking, with the winter swans, the snow swans, and the deer in the woods, the 2 different deers in the woods, and then the variety of sayings and borders. You just get a lot on that topper, don't you? It had a nice, pretty swirly pattern, 2 nice borders, and then just kind of some foggy woodland area. And I like the way they did this one with the swans taking over this corner, and then they kind of matched that border on the other side with a very neutral pattern in the center that you could use for masculine or feminine cards. Let's see what we did with it. We'll start with this 4x8 card. We try to carry, we can't always get it, but we try to carry the 4x8 card by Hunkydory. If you want to make a 4x8 and don't have that size card, obviously you can always take an 8x8 and 8x8 sheet, fold it in half, and make your own 4x8, and then make an envelope using one of the envelope maker templates to match that. But it's a nice size for some of these really tall images. This is where we got that image. And I took it exactly as it is on here. Now, I took my 4x8, I covered it. In this case, I used rainbow mirror, but it would have been just as good to use silver mirror board. I added a little transparent silver glitter styrofoam sticker here. If you didn't have one of those, that tape trick, again, using like 1/8" tape, running a piece of that 1/8" tape and covering that with iridescent glitter would give you exactly the same effect. I used a silver straight line sticker here. I used a holographic Season's Greetings. I followed my swirl pattern with my glue pen and then covered that with glitter. Cut 3 of those snowflakes from that reindeer set. We used those snowflakes on almost everything. They were really great snowflakes. You can stack them, you can use them individually, and that's the 3 sizes. You can see that they're just really versatile. Stuck rhinestones in the center because you can never have too much glitz and glimmer on a Christmas card. And I think it just turned out stunning. A few extra glitter accents around the pond, and that just doesn't get any prettier than that. Next, this is a gatefold card. I made it on a 6x6 card blank. We have these available in the store. To make this, I covered each side individually with a piece of my background off of that same piece. So I covered each side individually. On this side I used that patterned piece from this side. I used a couple of straight line stickers here, glittery straight line stickers, and again we know if I hadn't had those, use tape, make your own. We took the swan frame, and one thing I do advise, if you are going to make a gatefold card out of a topper that has a divided frame, this actually has, here's the swan, there's a die cut here, and there's a die cut here. Put it on a solid background if you're going to make a gatefold card out of it, because as that card gets handled, you don't want those pieces of the frame to get separated. So what I did was mount it on a piece of background of mirror board, and then mount the entire image on that. I didn't do anything extra other than adding those little border strips because I just thought it was stunning the way it was. So that's what I did with that. Simple and easy. Here's another one that's made using this piece. I really like this card. It just doesn't get any simpler than this, and I loved it. I cut that piece that I just showed you. I added the Merry Christmas, Happy New Year with a couple of rhinestones. This had a divided frame, so I mounted this center piece on foam tape. I mounted the outside frame on foam tape, and I left the inside frame flat against my card. But isn't that striking? And that's all I did to it. I didn't add anything else to it. I thought it was very, very pretty just like that. Here's our swan topper. I actually used a piece out of my out of the Angel Kiss background cardstock for this one because I like the colors together, and I didn't do a lot to it. I added, these are supposed to be in a straight row, I added 3 rhinestones to the bottom, 3 rhinestones to the top. I glittered this panel, and I added foam tape behind my topper, put a Merry Christmas on it. I put this on a specially cut card, which means that I just put my cardstock on top, and then I followed the contours of the card and back and just cut it out. And that's how I got the fancy shape. Simple, easy to do. And didn't it turn out pretty? And finally, I had this wonderful piece of background left. And I just couldn't stand not to use it because I thought it was so pretty with the foiling and things. So I took that piece, I mounted it on a A2 card. I used my Walking in a Winter Wonderland. I put that on some foam tape because I like to add dimension. I used my standing reindeer from Dee's Distinctive Dies. I just cut him. He's cut out of mirror board. You could cut him out of silver foil board or mirror board and he would look great. I used the Season's Greetings that I got in my 20 die mystery package from Tattered Lace. And didn't that just turn out striking? So pretty. Nice way to use a piece of cardstock. And this one doesn't even have a topper. I'm just using leftover cardstock to make that. But isn't that pretty? Okay, here's the Santa's Journey set. A charming St. Nicholas and his reindeer. It has two really good-sized toppers and little packages. It'd be wonderful like inside a card. Ho ho ho, Merry Christmas would be great inside a card. Little Season's Greeting, Joyous Noel, and a border, as well as some corners if we wanted to use them. So it's loaded, this sheet. That Hunkydory foiling, it's trying to fall. Pieces are trying to fall right out in my hand. Not foiling, the die cutting. There's a little corner treatment with St. Nick and the Naughty and Nice list. I like this one, isn't that fun? The foiling on that one has all kinds of possibilities. Here's my cards. I used that big topper. I just liked it just the way it was. Instead of using all three pieces, you'll see they have a solid silver piece between the topper and the stripes. I took that solid silver out and then I covered an A6 card in red mirror board. I mounted my frame just flush against the card. I put some foam tape behind my Santa topper. I put some foam tape behind my Season's Greeting. Hopefully you can see that. And to give those things dimension, I put my topper in the center. I cut out one of those snowflakes. Yes, you guessed it, from the Flying Reindeer set from hot off the press. And here's that Dee's Distinctive small tree. Added a little glitter, and I absolutely love it. How simple is that? But it's very effective, and it was a lot of fun to make. Next, I chose to only use for this card just a few. Here we go. You'll see that this could be as big as a 6x6 or 7x7 card. I just felt like making it smaller. So instead of using all these pieces of frame, I used the little Santa from the center. And I decided to use the green ring for something else. I didn't use the corner treatments at this point. I just created a smaller card, and I like the way Santa looked. Actually, I guess this one is the one that I did that with. I made the little Santa out of that piece. I added Merry Christmas. Again, with these gatefold cards, I like to do something kind of unexpected, so I have a little piece peeking out here. This is actually, I believe this piece is one of the hot off the press accent dies, but I have him sticking out from under the edge of my Santa. And when you open it up, I have the Joyous Noel underneath. I just like the way that looked. I added some silver border stickers, and isn't that a cute little 4x4 gatefold card? Now here's the other one. And this one, this image is taken from our corner treatment of Santa. Just cut it off and or added it to a, this is an A2 card, used the border, and then added my Ho 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 Merry Christmas, a couple of pearls, that little snowflake again, which I both glittered and pearled. I went a little glitter crazy on this one, and Laura was rubbing off on me. And here are there's a little glittered Christmas tree. Once again, that D's distinctive die was just really super helpful. I added a little horizon line there in the snow, and I really like the way that turned out. So that's this set. Okay, so continuing our tour through the Winter Wonderland luxury card kit. This one is Walking in a Winter Wonderland, and you'll notice that we have three good-sized toppers, with some smaller toppers and some greetings, a little border strip down here. One of the things I wanted to point out to you, because we've used that to advantage on our cards, is see how these frames have multiple pieces? This one actually has 3, this one down here has 3. So we'll take a look at that, how we use that. Here's our foiled cardstock. Beautiful snowflakes all over it. And this one is our matching printed cardstock with a nice snow scene. Here's what we've done with them. Here's the first one. I've taken this piece right here and just applied it to my background paper. I put it on a 6x6 card, I guess. And just a real simple card, because the 2 pieces were already there in our pattern. I covered it with that with that border piece, because I like the look of the metallic in the middle. Used one of my smaller toppers, one of my greetings, and then one of those trees. That turned out really pretty, I think. Okay, here's one of those multiple piece frames. We covered our cardstock in silver mirror board. I used a 1/2-inch piece of that printed background paper and a little strip of mirror board just to give me a pretty accent over here and use my space. Here's that 3-piece frame. I raised one. I just attached one to the paper, and I raised my center greeting. Little star in the corner, or a snowflake in the corner, one of those signature trees, and didn't that turn out pretty? Next, we have a 5x5 gatefold card. I just covered both sides of my paper with that pretty snowflake paper. I used 2 very fine tape lines. I added some rhinestones, little mini rhinestones, to the centers of my snowflakes, and I used some nice rhinestones in the corners of my topper. Remember, when you do a gatefold, you're only attaching one side, usually the left side, to your card, so don't bring your adhesive over too far, because you want it to attach only to one side of your card. But didn't that turn out pretty? And finally, in this set, I have the large topper piece. It looks like we have a stray rhinestone here off something else. Okay, we have the large topper. Again, I've taken those frames and broken them into 3 pieces. I put foam tape, and I applied it flat to the paper. There's one of those signature trees. This time I didn't glitter it or anything. I just thought that for this particular card, that just looked really pretty to just leave it alone. But I love the way that card turned out. So let's go on to the next set. Hope you're enjoying the card samples from Winter Wonderland, and this was the conclusion of part 1. Want to see some more great card samples? Hang on, we'll be right back with part 2.